everyone, it's Nicole for lawnfawn with some Critter Huggers shaped cards holding matching tiny gift boxes perfect for Valentine's Day and beyond. I created mine for Valentine's. You can tuck a gift card inside and some sweet little treats in the tiny gift box on the front. I love that the Critter Huggers and the tiny gift box add-ons coordinate perfectly. I thought it would be adorable if the Critter Huggers were holding their matching gift box. We're focusing on the fox and the raccoon today. I've trimmed a piece of cardstock down to 2.5 inches by 11, scored it in half, and then I'm going to temporarily tape the Critter Huggers die in place so that the ears are hanging off the edge. Run that through a die cutting machine to create the shaped card base. I think it's really important to do this out of the color cardstock that you're going to use for your critter so that it's a really seamless design. Trim off any of the arm pieces off the sides to make it flat, and then die cut the Critter Hugger from another piece of coordinating cardstock and glue it on the front of the card. At Christmas time or the holiday time, I created some holiday gift card holders that were very, very similar. I wanted to show a Valentine's version and how you can switch it up, and in this case, put this dimensional tiny gift box in the Critter Hugger's arms and they can hold on to it, which I think is fun. We're building the fox first, the actual Critter Hugger shaped card, and I wanted to add some embellishment. For me, the great fun of these Critter Huggers is embellishing. So we're going to give them some adorable little hair bows. The Critter Hugger shaped card itself is going to have a large hair bow. This is from the tiny gift box that I have used the dies from this. I die cut the elements from pattern paper, assembled them. I like to use some liquid glue and then hold them together with some tweezers while that glue is drying. And in a little bit, we will secure that to the top of the fox's head right in the center. So I'm going to use a little bit of liquid glue there again. I like to, again, hold that down with my tweezers so the glue dries and it's really nice and secure. We're also going to start decorating or assembling the fox's face with a nose, some eyes, and I love you can mix and match the components to make this Critter Hugger exactly the way you want to. And this little eye kept getting away from me. Finally, I used my tweezers and that worked much better. Add some little pink cheeks here. And then we're going to fold the arms in, but we're not going to do anything with them quite yet. We're going to take our tiny gift box, and I like to use a bone folder to score all of those edges and sides. And let's build the tiny gift box fox add-on. So this is the raccoon and fox add-on. There have been several add-ons over the last few months for the tiny gift box, which I love. You can create all kinds of fantastic critters with this. We're going to assemble the box. I used some score tape on those 4 tabs to assemble it, and then it just folds shut so that you can open and fold it as many times, or open it and to close it as many times as you need to. And we are going to take the fox panel, and I did die cut the arms from this. There are 2 versions in the add-ons. There's a standing critter or the sitting critter. We're using the sitting critter so that we could die cut the arms from the front and tuck a heart into the hands. This is great if you want your critter to hold on to an element. Assembling the face just like we did for the Critter Hugger on this tiny gift box fox. There's also some legs that we want to glue to the sides, and I wish I would have secured the tail, but I forgot. I usually like to do that in between the tab that secures the box, but I didn't. It isn't really going to matter for this project, So I'm just going to glue it to the back. But I think it's important to have that little detail because if you look at your critter hugger, when it's holding it, you'll see the little tail sticking out the side. And it also has the little cream colored tip. So cute. So if you're using it on its own, that's fantastic as well. Imagine creating just these little gift boxes maybe as Valentines for your kid or grandchild's or niece, nephews at school. I think that would be fun. You could create the whole thing maybe for a teacher and tuck a little gift card inside and a little treat in the box. I love that it's kind of 2 gifts in or 3 gifts in one. If you consider the card a part of the gift, then you can tuck some little sweets or something in the gift box and that gift card inside in the pocket, which just makes it a really lovely gift presentation. I am now assembling the little hair bows. And this little bow comes in the Tiny Gift Box Raccoon and Fox add-on. It is perfect. In this case, instead of just doing one in the center, I am doing one for each ear. I'm securing those to the Tiny Gift Box. I love decorating the back of my critter huggers, whether they're flat or whether they're a shaped card like I'm showing here today. So I am going to go ahead and glue my heart down in place. This heart is from the Stitched Heart envelope set. You could grab any set that has a little arrow in it. I thought there was another one. I'm trying to think. There's many different die sets from lawnfawn. I used that heart, Stitched Heart envelope and die cut the heart and the arrow, and I assembled them on the back, but I'm going to add a little bit more in a second. I used glue dots to hold the tiny gift box to my fox. At first, I didn't secure it to the box itself. I thought it would be fine like this. I am going to go back and glue the box, the back of the box, to the critter hugger because I think it's just going to be more secure. I've added glossy accents to the nose. Eyes, if you need to. I think I only did that on the raccoon. I didn't add it to the eyes here. Nouveau crystal drops in white blizzard for the cheeks so they're sparkly. We're going to adorn the center of the hair bow on the critter hugger with a crystal clear little heart. So cute. We're going to add a little dab of glue. We've die cut another heart. This is actually from the Tiny Gift Box Raccoon and Fox add-on set. And then this little trio of hearts here, that is from the new Heart Treat box. I've also die cut a stitched pocket. This is the gift card pocket that works with the critter huggers and I've adhered that on the inside of my card. I've stamped it with a sentiment from the How You Bean Conversation Heart add-on. I found a sentiment that fit inside that worked with the theme of my card that was Valentine's theme, since that was the kind of gift cards I'm doing today. And then I added those cute little hearts inside to decorate it and coordinate with the rest of the design. And this is where I really thought my box is just, this card is not as secure as I want. Something to keep in mind, this would need to be a card, gift, whatever, that you give in person. Unless you're tucking it inside a box or something and mailing it, because it's so dimensional, because it's this gift box. I really imagined kind of just standing these up and giving them, putting them on, you know, kids' tables at school or giving them to your kids in the morning at breakfast, something like that. Let's go ahead and put together the raccoon. This again features components from all of the same dies that I showed you before. We're taking our 2.5 by 11 piece of cardstock, scoring it in half, using the Critter Huggers shaped die to create our shaped gift card. And then I have all the elements laid out on my table here, ready to put this card together. We need to trim off any excess. I like to start with a bigger piece of cardstock as opposed to a smaller one. That way I can just trim off those arms off the sides very, very easily. You could use a paper trimmer or scissors, whatever you're comfortable with. We're going to assemble this critter just like we did before, but this time we're making the raccoon. And the sky is the limit. You could create as many coordinating critter huggers with tiny gift boxes as you'd like. As I mentioned, there's a lot of add-ons for the tiny gift box. There are a lot of critters you can make with the critter huggers. So much fun and a great way to just create some very unique little gift card holders as well as the little treat boxes. We're going to use a different nose for this card, and we're going to use different eyes as well. Assembling our raccoon tail. I did forget to mention when I was working on the fox, because this is a dimensional card, shaped card, instead, and it's not lying flat. You're not creating your critter hugger and lying it flat onto a card base. I like to take like the tip of the fox tail or the stripes of the raccoon tail, die cut those twice, and assemble them on both sides of the tails so that from the back it looks as good as the front. We're going to assemble then our little tiny gift box raccoon just like we did our fox gift box. We've got all these same components, all these great little pieces that go together to really make some unique little critters. I'm layering the black die cut piece behind the mask. For the card itself, I die cut the circles separately, but I think especially for these smaller treat boxes, I love that there's these coordinating pieces that you can just pop behind. It makes assembly a lot easier if you don't like all those teeny tiny little pieces. And I did a little bit different colorway with this card, although it's exactly the same. The fox had a red plaid pattern paper accents with the hair bows and hearts. The raccoon is going to have pink plaid. And I just went and grabbed scraps of pattern paper because it takes so very little of pattern paper to create these little accent pieces for my card that I just grabbed things from my scrap file. Now I wanted to talk about the cheeks on the raccoon. Because it has a mask, I messed around with this forever. I thought maybe I'll put them underneath, and that didn't look right to me. I left it there for quite a while without securing it and played around with all the other elements. I worked on building some other elements and things like that. And eventually I did the small mask and the small face for the raccoon and realized I did not like the cheeks underneath at all. And so I'm going to put them on top, and that makes a huge difference. So don't be afraid to play around with your elements to see what works best. Putting some score tape on my pocket for the inside. I always like to take my bone folder and go over that. It really secures the pocket and the score tape really well to the inside of the card. And then we've got the little circle eyes here. Now, if you wanted to give this to a little boy, I'd probably leave off the hair bows and things, maybe do a bow tie instead. That would be super cute. And I probably wouldn't add like the eyelashes. I went ahead because I used the open circle eyes. I did some eyelashes with a fine tip black pen. And I'll show you that here in a second. Plus, we're going to add glossy accents to the eyes and noses. It's one of my favorite things to do. Makes a world of difference for critters' faces. So we're assembling the hair bow. Again, using my tweezers. They are definitely such a great little tool to have on hand when you're doing a lot of paper piecing and die cutting assembly and gluing little pieces together. I also added the little eyelashes to the tiny treat box raccoon's face as well. We'll get to that here in just a second. I did kind of all my assembly of the face first. It's easier if you do the assembly flat before you try to put it onto the tiny gift box. So many tiny little pieces here. We're getting them all put together. I've again assembled those little tiny bows. We're going to put one on each ear. They're really cute and they make fantastic, as I mentioned a second ago, bow ties too. So if you want to do a bow tie instead, that is a great idea. We're going to put the little outline heart image. This is again from the Heart Treat box. I love mixing and matching different dies, different elements from many different lawnfawn sets to create these cards. So definitely shop your stash and see what you have on hand. We're putting down our cardstock heart, the arrow, and then we'll finish with the pattern paper heart on top. And that finishes off the back of each of these so well. Plus we need to add the little raccoon tail pieces to the back of this so that it looks as cute from the back as it does from the front. I love the little hearts on the bums of the critters. I think that's kind of it's something I do a lot of, whether it's stamping or die cutting. Here's that fine tip black pen used to add some eyelashes. Glossy accents for the eyes and the nose. We're going to let this sit and completely dry. It shouldn't take too long. Nouveau Crystal Drops for cheeks. Gives them a little sparkly finish. And a little heart in the center of the hair bow. That just finishes it off really cute. Nice little decorative touch. You could even add a small die cut heart to the center if you don't have dimensional heart accents and finish it with glossy accents. Let's assemble our tiny gift box now and adorn it with the face, the ears, and the legs. We're layering the hearts that our tiny gift box is holding. We're going to put glue dots on the hands to hold the box, some liquid glue on the back of the box. Position that where it goes on the critter. Squeeze the arms in place to hold the gift box. And then the glossy accents is dry, so I'm adding some little highlights to the nose and eye areas to really make them pop. Thank you guys so much for joining me today for these Valentine's shaped critter huggers cards holding their coordinating tiny gift boxes. This is the fox and the raccoon. Please be sure to visit the Lawnfawn blog for more information on this project. Thank you guys so much for joining me today, and we'll catch you next time.